3, 2, 1. Welcome to the 225 podcast with your hosts, Noah Ray, Andrew Cargill, and me, Matthew Awazzati. Every episode starts with feet. Awesome. We're a little tired today. We struggled coming up with a topic for about, 25 minutes. That shows you our incredible planning skills. But I think it's just been a kind of crazy week for us. Noah has his meet. We got finals, exams for some of our 4-week classes. Drew's just been planning a lot of stuff and also has a lot of athletes this weekend. We're doing it. But I feel like we've been on a roll recently. Our episode's been pretty solid, at least I think so. I don't know what anyone else thinks.
When I'm competing.
Yeah, so you're going to be listening to this and he's going to be competing. We'll make sure, hopefully, it's going to be a busy day, but we're going to try to make sure we can get the live stream link on the 225 account for everyone who wants to watch Noah and see our beautiful faces in the background. So, with that said, Noah is on a water cut.
Well, yeah.
I'm introducing the drink. And he's also on a caffeine cut, if you will, because he wants his pre-workout to hit extra hard.
Bro's got a bad headache right now.
Very extra hard come Saturday morning.
Wow.
And we have a drink that's not an energy drink.
Before we introduce this, so kind of how, not that caffeine's gotten a little out of control, but when we've been doing energy drinks, I also take pre-workout. My pre-workout's not super high in caffeine. It's usually between 200 and 250, but it's still, I was getting, over the 400 mark a day. So it got to the point where obviously your caffeine tolerance builds. Caffeine's a drug. It's just like any other drug. It's why people that have been smoking cigarettes for 10 years don't smoke 2 cigarettes a day. They smoke a whole pack to get the same benefit as they would previously. So for me, caffeine tolerance built up. All of us have a pretty high caffeine tolerance. So, and I like to do this. I've done this for every single meet. I cut out caffeine a week before the meet. So my tolerance doesn't completely diminish, but it goes down substantially to where I'll be able to feel, and also with beta alanine, I'll be able to feel that, feel caffeine a little bit more. Everything will just work a little better. And so that's kind of why I'm doing that. So I'm trying to keep it under 50, 60 mgs a day. So a diet soda here and there is not going to kill me. But
We have a diet soda.
But yeah, I'm not going to, be drinking energy drinks, no pre-workout, nothing like that. So.
This is a diet soda, as we said. I wish it was Diet Coke, but it's the next best thing.
This may be better than Diet Coke.
Yeah, but it's not it's not Diet Coke,
Yeah, Diet Coke has a special place in my heart.
Diet Coke is Diet freaking Coke. This is Diet Mountain Dew, baby, because we don't drink our calories here.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
Although Diet Mountain Dew does have the highest caffeine of any diet.
That's why I was confused, whoever recommended this.
It's only 54 though, so it's fine. But be careful if you're crushing these, because you drink 3 or 4 of these, and that's 150, 200 mg.
3 to 4 diet sodas a day is concerning.
Well,
but this is a classic. I love this drink.
Can I already be happier?
This really is so close to Citrus Ghost.
Flavor-wise,
yeah.
or ranking-wise?
Flavor-wise. I think citrus is more pronounced.
I'd rather just have normal Mountain Dew. I'm willing to take the
That's
calories.
crazy. No, I don't even
Really?
when I drink sugary sodas, my body's not used to that much sugar at a time. I feel sick afterwards, drinking a soda. I don't know. I'm drinking
Also,
milkshake all day. But
My palate has become so preferred.
Yeah.
I prefer the diet soda, the sucralose, aspartame, etc. Because I have been drinking diet soda since I was in 8th grade because I was fat.
Yeah.
So it's a habit that I've continued, but I'd rather drink this than normal soda.
Mm-hmm.
And I also just this is how bad body dysmorphia can get, but I just feel fat drinking a normal soda. I feel bad. I feel
weird.
worse. Noah introduced me to this thing you can do in the drive-thru.
This is how deep it gets. So
for us.
I've been like you said, drinking diet soda for a long time. I haven't had an actual soda.
Can I say why you told me this?
Sure.
So I went to McDonald's one night wanting a Diet Coke. I was fiending for one. And I got a Dr. Pepper, full sugar. I tell Noah this, and this is his response.
So, first off, you can either tell them you're a diabetic, and then if it is sugar, you can go in there and make a huge fit about it, and whatever. But I've never actually done that, but I do know people that are like, I'm a diabetic, and they're not actually diabetics. You shouldn't do that, but I just thought it was funny.
Insurance.
But if you just, get your fingers on the drink and you move them around and get the liquid on your fingers, if it's sticky, that's cane sugar. It means you do not have a diet soda. If it's not sticky, the soda is a diet soda. There's no actual sugar in it, so it won't be sticky. So that's a little life hack for y'all. If y'all ever are like, in some type of prep, don't need the calories, trying to cut out sugar. If you have a drink you get from like McDonald's or wherever, and you don't think it's diet, put your finger in it, put it on your fingers, give it like 15 seconds. If it's sticky, you have a sugary soda. If it's not, you have a diet soda.
Yeah.
I remember when I learned that, I was like, thank God.
I'll go with my rating just so we can rate it. This is solid, man. Like, super crushable. That's the dangerous part of it.
Oh, and especially if this were ice cold.
Mm-hmm. It's like a solid 8.5.
Do you not like it? It tastes exactly like Mountain Dew.
It's so good.
It doesn't.
He's just in a bit of bad mood today.
No, if any of them are like identical, Diet Sprite and
Dr.
Diet Mountain Dew
Dr. Pepper Zero.
are
Dr. Zero
they taste
is-
identical.
You can't tell.
I'm chill with Diet Coke and stuff. This is not Mountain Dew. This is not what I expected when I said Mountain Dew.
No,
We'll get him in a water next time.
I mean, it's like a solid 8 for me.
Yeah, it's like
I'll
in terms
crush
of
them all day.
diet soda.
It's good.
My number, I don't want to go number one. Very top diet soda, and that top 3 is Diet Vanilla Root Beer. What I will do to that? Oh,
We have lore between
we
us.
do have lore. The first time, like Noah and I really like hung out, is the
We
3 of
went
us
to
went to Zaxby's, and we both ordered, and like I go to the drink machine, and he's in front of me, he's getting Diet Vanilla Root Beer. I'm like, you're shitting me.
Yeah.
Like, no way you drink this. He's like, it's all I drink. And I'm like, this is all I've drinking for years. There's just like a little moment kiss, whatever. I'm kidding. But yeah, so I love that soda. What do you give this, Drew?
Like a 4.2.
Tires.
Maybe.
I'd love. Okay, I'm gonna blind test you, and you're gonna have 2. You're gonna have like 3 or 4 drinks. 2 of them one of them's gonna be Diet Mountain Dew. One of them's not gonna be. It's gonna be normal Mountain Dew, and I can guarantee you're gonna go tell the difference.
Mountain Dew, I'll tell the difference.
No.
Coke, you might be able to fool me.
No way.
Coke.
Yeah.
Coke tastes.
You're bugging. Coke
Diet
Zero,
Coke,
Not a
Diet
Diet
Coke,
Coke.
and normal Coke are all different.
When's the last time you've had a normal Mountain Dew?
6th grade.
Okay. So there's-
No, I mean I've had at work. We used to have them. So I've had some before
Yeah.
within the past 2
Sprite
years.
is the only soda I'll drink, like once a year. Like a crisp, cool McDonald's.
Have you ever had a Diet Sprite? Brother, they're identical.
I know, but it's the bubbles are too pronounced for me.
Too pronounced.
You gonna make fun of him? For
Oh my God! Grow up. The bubbles are too pronounced. The hell does that even mean?
They're too big.
Oh my God!
All right,
Heard that
anyway.
one before.
Really?
I'm just kidding.
In other news, pretty excited about today's topic. Kind of like a different one. You obviously read it on the title.
Because we're just not like other girls.
We're not. I don't think I've actually ever heard anyone talk about this. We're on like the pioneering of podcasting right now.
Oh.
So one thing that we've seen a recent trend of in powerlifting is you find 2 different types of meets. There's going to be your mega meets, states, nationals.
For us, Atlanta.
Regionals.
Atlanta Open's a
How
big
many people
meet.
competed in Atlanta Open?
I think it was.
Over 100.
So what do you consider
Or maybe
a mega meet? Over
Uh,
100?
2
So, okay,
two
wait,
sessions,
let me-
in my opinion.
Let me reframe. You've got your national mega meets, which is going to be nationals, any type of nationals, CNATs, youth nats, teen nats, whatever. You're going to have something like the Arnold
Regionals.
regionals. You have those. On the state level, you have your, what I would call 2 platform, 2 session, multiple flight meets. Those are a little bit bigger. And then you have, on the flip side, local meets. So that's going to be 1 or 2 sessions, but really just
Savannah one had like 46 people competing.
right.
It was
Such
one
a
platform.
tiny- yeah.
One platform. You've got 42, 46 people. Is it how many people flight? 14.
14.
14 people flight. 1 or 2 flights maybe. Not a big meet. And what we've noticed is you have different states, different kind of people doing maybe less, but more better production meets, like the pro meets, or you have just a bunch of local meets. So we were going to just kind of talk about, I'm going to let the boys take their opinions on it, but talk about kind of what, as a lifter, you want, our experiences, and just kind of like what we think is maybe better for the sport.
Because my 2 meets have been really small and really, really big.
Yeah.
So
I definitely know what
sides.
I like, but
I mean,
You go. You have more.
well, I've got a lot of. I could
Okay, I'll
I could
go
go for a
really
long time on this topic.
I'll go quick.
was
'cause
that
I
like
probably have
what,
the
15
least.
seconds?
I could go
competed-
50 minutes on this.
I think 15 seconds is a long time.
I've competed the least out of anyone. And my first meet was the Owl Liftoff, and that was like a 40-person meet.
36.
36 people, obviously one platform, super quick. I loved it. It was great because it also was a good environment because there was a lot of my friends there. It was at Kennesaw, it was comfortable. And then at States, that was 100 something, but the total was like 300 something. But my day, I think it was like 100.
It was 100 a day, essentially.
Something like that. And I mean,
Not
there
there
was,
it was 50 to 50, but
Yeah, I
still.
don't know about it. I was just trying to think.
it was like a huge thing. A lot of people, 3 platforms.
6+ platform warm-up room.
Yeah, like a lot of people, a lot of strong people, a lot of like it was just a whole thing. A lot of spectators, a lot of people in the back. I did get a little more flustered because like when you're going, there's like 40 people behind the platform, whether that's coaches, competitors, friends, people that are helping, like all this stuff. But I will say, I thrive on like having a crowd and like the adrenaline there. I really liked a lot of people. I liked the bigger meet. I didn't really like the equipment as much, but I did really. The equipment was better at the Owl Liftoff, but I think the vibes. I don't know. I like big meets. I like to go all out. That's why I signed up for the meet that I'm doing. I like to have a lot of adrenaline. I like to have a lot of people screaming really loud. So that's just what I like. But small meets are fun, especially when you can get a gang of your friends to go. Like if we have another Owl Liftoff, it's gonna be awesome. Like it's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, but I prefer a bigger, like all out. If I'm gonna do it, I want to have a lot of people looking at me, and that may be egotistical to say, but that's just what I like, and I thrive off that.
Oh, is it my turn now? For me, I mean, I've done both. I've done small meets, 1 platform, 1 sessions. I've done nationals. I've never done regionals. Wanted to do that, but for me personally, what I prefer the most is probably the bigger meets. Because, one, I think it's just more fun in general, because obviously it's a bigger meet and stuff, but even in like the back scenes, like the warm-up room, normally you're forcing yourself to meet new people when you're warming up with new people. Like nationals, I ended up
Bro
meeting a bunch of
literally does
people.
not talk to a single person in the warm-up room.
Well, yeah, but it's like the idea of, can I work in with you? Oh, now we're best friends for the next 2 hours. I mean, I think just the bigger meets is definitely my favorite because, one, again, adrenaline's way bigger, better, but I mean, small meets, I don't have anything against them. I'm going to compete in them the same way I would as a bigger meet. I don't think it's going to cause me to have not as much adrenaline because I haven't done a small meet in probably a few years now, though. I don't know the last small meet I've done because I've only competed a few times in the past few years, and it's been like nationals or like states, I think. But I mean, last time I was doing like small meets, it was fun. But to me, I just much prefer the bigger meets because I like that backroom chaos. I like everything being like everything hits the fan and is going everywhere. To me, personally, for big and small meets.
Yeah, so my personal experience with it is I started at a pretty well. My first little meet I did was a mock meet, push pull. I had a 3-day prep. It doesn't really count, but it was to get my toes in the water. It was a much smaller thing, more casual. And I kind of like that because it was a little less scary way to start the sport. But my first real sanctioned meet was a collegiate showdown meet. And I mean, you had, the warm up, it was in a hotel, 2 platforms, 2 sessions. The warm up room was just madness. We had like 10 people down there and all these other colleges, and like, people with iPads. Excuse me. It was pretty intimidating. And thankfully, I had a really good coach and handler to, walk me through the process to where like I didn't have to think. I only just lifted. And that definitely really helped that process. My next meet was like Savannah, which was pretty big, and then I did states as well. So I've really only ever done a 2-session, 2-platform meet, multiple days, whatever. But I think like in terms of more like a broader scope outside of my personal thing, like I just don't care how big the meet is. I kind of like tune everything out. The only thing that's kind of in my mind is the bar, is the platform, and like then the head ref giving me commands. Like I don't really ever see the people there, as much as it's great to have 100 people chanting your name. Like
I don't remember,
or no one chanting your name. It's like I look at it the same as if I'm just training. So I have my handler who's kind of just like my manager. Thinking about everything for me, and then I just do what they tell me.
I don't know about y'all, but when I go into the bar, everything goes dark and quiet. Like I'm there, I can't hear anybody in the crowd except like 2 specific voices. So to me, I don't really care, big or small meet.
Right.
Like everything goes black. I'm like, okay. All I'm thinking of is lift, just when you're like training.
I wouldn't have been able to do that 400-pound bench alone.
That's a good point. Like I will say,
I wouldn't have been able to do that.
But then if it wasn't us, and it was just like the crowd cheering, or was it the fact that it was like your people cheering?
I think it was a mix of both. I didn't necessarily like hear one individual or whoever. I heard everyone get substantially louder, and it felt like the whole place was like shaking of how loud it was. And I was like, I'm not about to like embarrass myself in front of all these people.
That's a good point. I think there's definitely pros and cons. Like especially if you're just going for a qualifier meet, a local meet is super bad.
Oh yeah.
But if you
I think an entry level person, like if I would have done states for my first meet, I probably would not have liked that. Like you need small meets to get the people that aren't used to getting used to the adrenaline, getting used to all of the chaos that goes around throughout the day. Like a small meet is fantastic. I think that's why I love the Outlift Off so much and why I really want that to be a thing this year. So like, or even like my sister, her first meet, Ladies of Honor, there's like 40, 50, 60 people, whatever.
I was like, no, there's like 100 plus, because there's a 2-session meet.
84.
Oh, really? It was a 1 platform. Like, it wasn't super stressful. Like, I think having those smaller meets are really good for like a beginner lifter to get their toes wet and to really be like, okay, I liked this, but I want it bigger.
I'm a little bit different. I think it's almost better for them jumping on a bigger.
I would have freaked out if
It's like Atlanta Open. I think that'd be fine for someone doing first meet like that. Because so my first meet, obviously
Was it like 1930s?
Pretty much. I think I was 12 or 13, so it's not like I had much of a concept of what was going on anyways. But I'm pretty sure it was the state meet that I did a long time ago. And it was a multiple 2 platforms. I don't know if it was 2. I'm assuming it was 2 sessions. But it was you have to force yourself to go ahead and adapt. And realistically, in my opinion, it's not that big of a difference to me from going to 1 platform to a 2 platform. Me, obviously, yes, I get it. It's double the people, whatever. But at the end of the day, you have a handler. It's their job to keep you stress free. So I think that's a big thing. And even if you don't have one, it doesn't change that much other than the amount of people there.
Well,
Unless you're a scared individual and shy, guess what?
That's what I was going to say was like, I also am a musician. I've performed on stages before. I have no stage fright. Whether it be presenting in school, presenting to people, speaking in front of a group, playing an instrument, anything like that, I don't get scared. That's just one of the gifts I have in life.
See, I'm terrified.
Well, where I was going with this is like some individuals have no issue performing in front of a large or small audience. But I know a lot of people who performing in front of a big audience like makes them do worse or makes them really nervous. Some people think like all eyes are on them. That's kind of where I was gonna say, like in terms of the sport, I think for overall knowledge of the sport, these bigger meets are really good for it in terms of turning people on. Like Worlds being live streamed by the Olympics, I think that really helps grow the sport a lot. You know, if Worlds was a bunch of little meets, like no one would know. But then I think on the local level, introducing people and lowering the barrier of entry, a smaller meet does so much more, because I also think like if you are a more scared or nervous person, like seeing people like hit really, really big weights, and you're not one of those people, like my first meet, I was dead last on each session, each flight. I was last for each lift because I was been training for like 4 months, you know. And then seeing someone deadlift, you know, bench my deadlift, I was like, oh, crap, I feel bad. I think in a local meet, you have a lot less of that, to where it's a little bit more of a fun atmosphere.
And it's more casual.
Something at a, you know, bigger meet, it's a lot more competitive. Because also, like, at the state meet, they talk about having a qualifying total, and ultimately we fought against it. But after states, I think you should have a qualifying total.
That'd be wild.
At least an appearance on the platform for that meet. I don't think you really need a QT, but like, there's a reason nationals has QT, because they don't want people stepping up and like not knowing what they're doing, bombing out. There was definitely a lot of people at states who it was their first meet, which is awesome. I loved that, but it's like, it also kind of disrupts the experience of someone who wants to take that meet
It's
a
a lot
little
to
bit more
take in.
seriously.
It's just a lot to take in.
I mean, it's like a sensory
Very
overload.
overwhelming.
Yeah.
Very. Like, I was overwhelmed, and I am used to training at Merida Barbell with people that are yelling, screaming loud. Like, I'm used to training with a lot of people, and like, it was still like, oh god.
Well, because
This
also
is
like,
wild. Like, this is intense.
and also like, even like, I go to the bathroom in between each attempt. Like, it's bad.
I do too. It's
Like,
terrible.
I literally, like,
I gotta
the
run
reason-
like half a mile.
The reason, that's what I was gonna say, the reason I don't do well in meets is probably because I'm sprinting to go pee. But
I remember, oh my gosh, this was so fun.
So many times.
So Drew obviously handled me and was coaching me at States, and literally in the warm-up room, probably like 4 or 5 times, I'd be like, Drew, do I have enough time to go to the bathroom? And he's like, you got 4. Go!
yeah,
Right down.
exactly how it is. But that's one thing that sucked about it, and maybe that was just that venue, is like the bathroom was a mile away.
Yeah, was all the way down that hallway. You had to go, so the warm room was here, the actual gymnasium was here, and then you had to go down the hallway for the first bathroom. So like, it was literally like a 5-minute walk
Ordeal.
to get
Yeah.
down to the bathroom, pee, and then 5 minutes. It was terrible. Yeah, I did not like that at all.
But-
venue.
It was an L venue. It was also far.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think at least like how I would recommend someone go is as your first meet, and this is just my opinion. I would do something smaller, something more casual. Also, like just go to meets. Going to
Yeah.
meets helps meets make them a lot less nervous.
And volunteer.
Volunteering.
Get involved.
Please.
It helps people out a lot. It helps people that run meets a lot. Drew runs meets. He could not do what he does without people volunteering. You know,
Trust
Becky
me.
runs meets.
We appreciate it.
She couldn't do anything without
Yeah, I ran
volunteers. You know, I mean, a lot of people can't. They just can't do anything without volunteers. So,
yeah.
if you want to get involved,
But it also helps so
Reach
much.
out.
Like I will tell everyone before their first meet, go to one.
yeah.
Know what you're getting yourself.
That's what
into.
my sister did, and she got it. She came to the
Yeah.
Out Lift Off and was like, "I want to do that."
And well, not even for like wanting to do this sport. If you're signed up, like James, I was like, yeah, go to a meet, because like you're gonna walk in not knowing anything, and you're gonna be intimidated. But he went to a meet. He went to a couple meets, I think. And now he knows what to expect. He knows what the commands are, the standard. And those are the things you learn by being there. I think like walking in blind to a meet like States, no handler, I would be crapping my pants.
I'd be shitting bricks.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Yeah, I really don't. But yeah, I think my opinion is similar to yours. First meet, I'd keep it relatively small. No need to go try and do something crazy for your first meet.
Yeah.
Take it pretty casually. Also, it's like, I don't know. It's a lot mentally to go through a prep. So like, taking your first one relatively easy.
9 for 9.
Getting used to it. Wanting to like, I don't know. You need because it's a very. I've never done a sport that's like this to where like it all leads up to like one event. Like it's not like
You have 9
swimming.
minutes.
Yeah,
You
it's
put
not like swimming where like
hours.
they have multiple swim meets, they have multiple things, or like or like tennis, you have multiple matches. Like it's literally all leading up to these 9 lifts that you do for like however many months that you train. So being like it takes a lot out of you mentally and physically to do it. So I wouldn't push it super, super hard because it may burn you out your first time or second time. And then once you really know that you have a love for the sport, then I'd be like, push it. Like push beyond what you think is possible. And that's kind of where I'm at now is like, yes, I took my stuff seriously, but I probably didn't push as hard as I could have. And now I'm like, I'm going to give this everything that I have. I'm going to leave everything out there, everything in training, all that stuff. So that's just kind of from what I've done. It doesn't mean go fool around in the gym. That's not what that means. But for me now, I'm, taking those bigger jumps, leaping out and seeing what's there. I would have never known that I could have squatted that much if you don't just at least try something. First time I squatted anything like big, I did like 518 for 3. I thought it felt really hard. I did 540 for 3 the next week. And then I had a set of 4 and I just loaded up 551 because I thought it was there. And guess what? It was there. And ever since then, it's like, okay, we're going. Like, we're
Going
pushing.
up. I've been
Like,
doing the same thing.
And it's like, I never would have thought that I would have been able to do something like that. But now it's like, okay, we push harder than last time. We keep on going. We keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. So yeah, that's just kind of where I'm at now. Is now I'm in the space of I want to be at that really high level, and you can't be at that really high level leaving stuff in the tank. Like taking stuff pretty casually. Like you really have to go in there every session, focus, train hard.
And it doesn't mean you can't have fun, but you need to be like, because I think that's a misconception. You don't have to go in and be like, you can't.
I love going to the gym. I have fun with everyone.
Yeah, like go in, give yourself a minute to lock in before a set, hit the set, and then go hug, kiss your bros, whatever.
Yeah.
I was gonna say one other thing about the meet size that I think is pretty interesting is like they're actually doing some really cool things with these bigger meets. Like in terms of like what's the TV thing that your dad was talking about?
I've never been to super big.
Neither have I, but like it just watching
Oh, the jumbotrons.
the
in background?
jumbotrons, like
Yeah.
just the level and the quality at which these meets are getting is really making like CNATS looked incredible. I mean, was it 4 platforms?
Yeah.
All of them with the jumbotron in the background, like they're being live streamed. Pretty much any meet you go to is going to be live streamed now. I just think it's really cool for the sport to see like how much better the experience is getting for the lifter, but also the viewer. Because I think that ultimately the viewer is what's important.
Sterling Estates is having a watch party.
For you?
Yeah.
Wow. So that is the
And none of them have any idea what it is.
the old folks home he works at. I mean, you've been working there for like 8 months now. 9
About a
months,
year, yeah.
is watching it. That's super cool. And then they're gonna tell their
They
grandchildren.
did like a little post about it on their like weekly thing or whatever.
They're bored.
What?
Was it like their court board?
No, they have like a TV like in one of like pretty much every room that like rotates through like.
There's a picture of you.
It literally is.
No
It's a picture
way.
of me and you on it too. Because she said send pictures. I'll show you. But like they don't really know what it means, but they're like so excited to watch, and I was like trying to explain it to them.
Because like I think making the experience better for the viewer makes it so much.
But it's a picture of me in my work uniform, and then a picture of us. Because I sent her like 5 pictures, and that happened to be the one that she chose.
That's amazing.
But yeah, so they're doing like a little watching party for me. I gotta send them the link.
By the way, what? That's good.
Well, I mean, I knew what the pictures were.
So yeah, it's fun. I'm hoping to, and they're all super excited. It's so funny telling people that don't understand, because I told, so the owner of Sterling Estates, one of the like 3 or 4 owners was in yesterday, and I was walking by the main lobby, and him and like a few of the other executives were in there, and one of them was like, "Hey, good luck, Noah," like I saw on the thing, and they're like, "Come over and like talk about it," and they were like, "So what are your lifts?" And first thing was like 634 squat, and it's so funny watching people that don't really understand lifting, hearing that number. They were like, "What?" And then I said like 430 bench, and they're like freaked the hell out.
You're also really strong.
No, I know, but like it was funny because that like people think a
300-pound squat is like crazy,
which it is for like if that's your squat, that's not a problem.
Suck.
No, but like it's funny because like not a lot of people squat 600 pounds.
315, 225, 405 are like the
and also I don't like in my work shirt, it's like gargantuous.
Yeah.
So like you can't see me, and I have to wear pants all the like I don't wear shorts. I don't like whatever. So none of them really understand like what I look like or like anything like that. And it's really funny because they like freaked out about it. That's just thought it was funny. But yeah, so getting more involved in the retirement home community. So maybe they'll start. Who knows?
That'd be amazing.
Get a combo rackets.
40 masters lifters to the hour lift off.
But yeah, I mean it's cool. So they're all super like interested in it. They thought it was really awesome. And like you said, they didn't show their grandkids or anything like that. And they're like, "Oh, that's cool." And yeah, so I'm excited.
It is funny though, because at Fire, I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to meet." They're like, "Oh, did you compete?" I'm like, "No." And then everyone's always like, "Oh, how was the meet this weekend?" And I'm like, "I didn't compete. Like, who told you I was competing?"
I'm just going.
So like, I'm like, especially because you'll be watching this more in Orlando, but we go to Orlando, 2 days from now, and everyone's like, "Oh, good luck," and I'm like, I have to tell everyone like, I'm not competing, but thank you. Like I had like my old babysitter text me after Atlanta Open, like, "How was the competition?" And I was like, good. Like I didn't compete.
It was pretty well ran. I didn't do anything, but I didn't compete.
I'll take some notes.
I handled a couple people, but it was sick. But yeah, so that was kind of what we want to talk about today. That was fun.
Yeah.
Just kind of about like why you should do a small meet or big meet. I think big meets. I think they're just making waves for the sport though, which is.
And it also makes a presence of like in the USA Fit Games. The thing that I like is they are bringing in thousands of people into that convention center. And they're going to be opening that. Like, there's an IFBB Pro show. A lot of people are coming specifically to that show. But one thing that I realized relatively early, not early on, but becoming an IFBB Pro or like being a professional bodybuilder, going to the Olympia, that is like very difficult, but like also requires substances, certain genetics, like things of that nature. Whereas going to a national powerlifting meet, that's not, the barrier of entry is quite a bit lower to qualify for something like that than it is to be like professional bodybuilder or like go to the Olympia. Like there's like 40 people that go to the Olympia, or men like in classic physique every year, and they have like won a pro show, all types of anabolics. So like for me, I'm glad that these people that may have those like, oh, I don't know if I can really realistically do this, but still love the gym and want to have a fitness-oriented sport. Powerlifting's fantastic. So I'm excited that there's going to be literally, they're expecting like 10,000 people to come to this meet. And
I will have one combo rack for just powerlifters.
No, but like, I mean, there's like 140 lifters, I think, 135. But there's like an IFBB Pro show going on. There's like sumo wrestling. There's like MMA, arm wrestling.
I'm doing sumo.
Yeah, there's a bunch of sponsors, like all types of vendors there. Yeah, so we're super excited. I think it'll be really good for the sport. The Olympia also is having a powerlifting meet this year, which is really cool. So yeah, a lot of fun stuff happening for the sport. It's growing a lot, even from the under a year that I've been involved in it, I can see that it's growing.
People also are starting to know what it is. That's the
Yeah.
that's the most interesting thing. When I was introduced to powerlifting, I had no idea what it was. I also like didn't ever see it on social media. Now it's like you aren't going to miss it if you're in the space.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah. That's cool. We'll track there.
Well, we will post the link to watch everyone. I am second session, but we have 3 lifters first session and then 2 second session. We'll definitely post the link so you can watch them. We have Corinne, Emma, and James all on the same platform, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be exciting. And then me and AJ in the afternoon. I probably won't start lifting until probably like 5 p.m. Lifting starts at 4, and I'm last. And I'll squats. I'll probably ish.
Mr. Big Squat.
Well, I mean, I'll probably be at the end.
You will. You'll be at the end.
Relatively.
Watch him be first.
That'd be fun. That'd be the first.
I would
squat.
shit. I'd be like, oh god.
That's POV world. 7
Yeah.
squat. You're first.
But yeah, so we'll
Keep you all updated. Thanks for watching. Let us know if you have any recommendations. And we do have something special coming soon.
and it'll definitely be the next podcast.
It won't be it won't be an episode, but it will.
I think we should do a review of on the next episode.
Oh, that's not what I was talking
Oh!
about. We've got a lot of special things coming soon. Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Wow. So
I'm not gonna. Don't say it. We're not saying.
I was just about, we've got some big things coming.
Yeah.
Just like our coaching. 225 coaching.
Oh god.
No, but we've got some really fun, interesting, cool things coming. Let us know if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns.
The meet recap video along with
Mhm.
the trial. Oh gosh, that's me.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
What are the big things? Obviously,
I was talking about the energy drink.
The vlog.
Oh yeah.
Vlog.
I didn't even think about that.
What vlog?
James vlogging us.
For what?
James, I told you this yesterday.
You told me about something of MBB.
Yeah, James is gonna like come